Hello, my name is TJ Henry Yoshi, and today I'm going to be going over Mario Kart 8 Wave 2 Booster Pass and kind of giving my critical thoughts on how I think they'll play gameplay-wise. I've been on a huge Mario Kart 8 kick these past few months, ever since Wave 1 came out, and honestly, initially I wasn't even that excited for Mario Kart DLC. Mario Kart 8 used to be one of my least favorite games of the series, but then Wave 1 came out, and the Wave 1 of the DLC absolutely blew me away. And you'll see a lot of my favorite tracks in the game now are from this first DLC, and that makes me very excited for the second wave, because I think that in terms of gameplay, these have been delivering quite a lot on what they can bring. So, starting off this little analysis, we have a brand new track with Sky High Sunday. This track looks like it will play pretty well. This is notably the first Mario Kart 8 DLC that seems to be using anti-gravity. We see that when it shows this next camera angle, I think, yeah. We see right here that this track starts with a glider section. And I don't think we've seen any track quite like that in Mario Kart 8 yet, and I'm super excited for that. I do see this really long straightaway at the end, and I do wonder if that will... I do worry that might be just a really... Mario Kart 8 gameplay, I think, suits it best when there are a lot of turns to be doing. Mario Kart in general, I think the gameplay is most fun when you're always doing something. I am a little bit worried about this last just really long straightaway, and just kind of having a lot of just time on this long straightaway, not doing much. But this section right here with this stairs looks really fun. These tricks look fun, and I think this is going to be quite unlike any track we have Mario Kart 8. I think there's going to be this is going to be like a better version of Excite Bike. Like, people talk about liking Excite Bike because you get to do a lot of tricks. I think this is that, but just better in every way. I'm super excited for it, and honestly, I don't have the highest hopes for it. It's not blowing me away like this is going to be amazing. Like, nothing about it looks like it's going to be absolutely stellar, but it looks extremely good. So it's going to get a very easy A tier for me. Calamari Desert, I have a lot of N64 nostalgia for. When I was first looking at this trailer, I noticed there was an item box off to the right there. So what that indicates to me is that there might be an alternate path you can take that way. I wonder what's going to be going on with that. Overall, though, I think Calamari Desert, as much as I love it, I don't think it has the absolute best racing lines. And so as a result of that, I think I can only put it as far as B tier. It looks stellar. I'm not as big of a fan of the 7 variant, but I think it is still okay. It's still very good track overall, and I'm excited to have it. I'm a big fan of any Mario Kart 64 track. Calamari Desert is probably like one of my weakest Mario Kart 64 tracks, and it's still absolutely great in my opinion. So I'm really excited to see Calamari Desert. I think it's going to be a very large, popular pick that I enjoy quite a lot. Next off, we are going to have SNES Mario Circuit 3. Now, I would be super excited for this if it weren't for the fact that this is the only Mario Circuit we ever freaking see. Like, it's been done so many times. We don't need SNES Mario Circuit 3 again. You have so many other Mario Circuits to pick from. And I don't know why they're so insistent on bringing back this one. I think that all the extra turns will lead it to being a good Mario Kart 8 track. So I guess because of that, I can bring it up to C tier. But for the most part, I'm just not that excited to play it. It's just we've played it plenty of times before. I think that it will have pretty fun racing lines, but that's about as much as I can say for it. It's just nothing new. It's just not quite that entertaining. Mushroom Gorge looks good. It looks fine. I'm not a big fan of of 7's iteration of Mushroom Gorge. I don't like the flattening of the mushrooms. I don't know. It feels like the whole track's gotten flattened down in a way that's just a bit more boring than it is. The glider mushroom is also just a very large miss for me. It doesn't really do much. I'm gonna put it in B tier since it's still very just nice looking course. I think that lines will be pretty decent on it. Overall, nothing to complain about too much here. Just not one of my favorites. And I do love Mario Kart Wii tracks quite a lot. This one just doesn't hit for me quite as hard. I'm super excited to have it though. Sydney Sprint, the Tour City tracks are a complete wild card for me because within Tour itself, the city tracks are consistently the least fun tracks to race. But so far in Mario Kart 8, we've seen that Mario Kart 8 has enjoyed taking the city tracks and turning them into section tracks that use the different variants of these city tracks from different tours, which I think is awesome. I love seeing more section tracks like this, and I think this does make it a lot more interesting. As you can see, oh wow, if we actually go back here, I didn't even notice this on my first watch through, but you can, on this lap, you can see everyone leaving this sort of Arcadium. I think is that what it is? I don't know. I don't know my landmarks very well. And then at the very end, we see them going back into it, going this direction, which is super cool. So it looks like we're going to get to see that whole like track sectioning again. So because of that, I think Sydney Sprint is going to be my first S tier. I'm super excited to see how it races. I think this is going to be a very large Paris Promenade situation where you race it and it's going to feel extremely fun, even if it's not super interesting as like a track itself. Like Paris Promenade's a pretty like basic track, all things considered, but it's still very fun to drive for reasons that I can't exactly explain. It just feels like it works really well, and I think Sydney Sprint is going to be a very similar situation. So that next leads us to the fan favorite Waluigi Pinball. And now I'm going to say something a little bit controversial. I'm not too big of a fan of Waluigi Pinball. I'm not too big on it. It's honestly pretty boring in my opinion. There's no shortcuts of any kind. It's very narrow. It's nothing about it is particularly difficult, I feel. I think this might just be a personal opinion, but I've never really felt too challenged by it. This last section with the wide table, it just gets wider for what feels like no reason. It doesn't feel like there's, like, if you're at least a halfway competent driver, I feel like you can get through the section without getting hit by anything, and it's not a huge deal. It's a pretty much non-issue for dealing with all the obstacles around you. I think that I do enjoy that. We kind of get a glimpse of it way back here. Wherever it is. Did I not go back far enough? I don't think I did. They really like showing off this Waluigi Pinball. But I think as we can kind of see here though, it looks like this track is going to have anti-gravity. And it looks like it's going to do it well, which is not something I can say for a lot of Mario Kart 8 tracks. I feel like Mario Kart 8 has a tendency of being style over substance in terms of how the tracks play. I think that the twisty nature of Waluigi Pinball and the anti-gravity especially will be a good addition. So even though I'm not a big fan of it, I will put it in C tier above SNES Mario Circuit. And then I think that Waluigi Pinball is going to be good, but it's going to be the most hive mind pick of any track in the series. I think anytime Waluigi Pinball shows up on the vote screen, every single person in the lobby is going to pick it, and it's going to be a little bit annoying to get around that, but hey, I think it honestly turned out better than I thought it would be. I was going to put Waluigi Pinball in D tier out of principle, just because I don't like it very much, but I honestly think it will have a lot of potential. With what I've seen of the Mario Kart 8 version, I think I might come around on it possibly. We'll see. But Snowland is by far the edition I am most excited for. I love the GBA game. This looks gorgeous. It looks like a complete this is like, I've never seen a Retro Cup remade with this much creativity before. They have this bridge, they have this hilly section, like, you would not be able to tell at first glance this was once a flat track. And I think it looks absolutely incredible. As I said, I love the GBA Mario Kart game. I love Super Circuit quite a bit in terms of just the track designs, and I'm super excited to see how they implement that. And last we have New York Minute, and in case you couldn't tell from the sort of space I left myself on the tier list, this is going to be going into A tier. This is another city track that I think will be very good. I don't think it's going to be quite as exciting as City Sprint. I don't see. This was one of the first Mario Kart Tour tracks, and I've not played all of the variants myself, but I don't think it'll be that particularly interesting, all things considered. But I think it will be. I think it'll be above Tokyo Blur, though. I think it'll be better than Tokyo Blur, not quite as good as Paris Promenade, in my opinion. I'm still excited to see another section track in Mario Kart 8, and it's really cool to me how Mario Kart 8 can turn these tracks that in Mario Kart Tour are the most boring, watered down, like not that interesting tracks. Like if you get a city track in Mario Kart Tour in one of your ranked cups, it's not going to be very fun to play on. But Mario Kart 8, when every time it's brought these city tracks in, we've been seeing these sort of styles, this sort of bit of flair, where we're seeing alternate routes being implemented all into one track, and that's awesome, and that's a great way to make the track a lot more interesting overall. And so I think that's going to conclude my thoughts, and it's looking like this wave of DLC is going to be another huge hit for me. This DLC has been absolutely delivering and giving me tracks that I feel like I can actually enjoy rather than just feeling lukewarm about, because basically I feel like a lot of the regular Mario Kart 8 tracks are just not very fun, and I'm super glad for this DLC because seeing these retro cups being brought in, I think does a lot for the game, and I think that it's what got me into Mario Kart 8 in the first place, because originally I played and I didn't really even like it that much, but these new tracks honestly have completely turned me around on the game, and that's a lot of hype that I am excited to share. So this has been a new kind of video. I've never really done something like this before, but this has been super fun. I'm going to be holding a tournament for a Mario Kart 8 tournament, probably about 2 weeks after this DLC goes live. And there'll be more details about that if you follow me on Twitter. I might post something on YouTube about it. I don't know for sure. Let me know if you want to see more content like this. This was kind of fun. I love talking Mario Kart 8, especially when it comes to particularly the gameplay. I'm super excited to see how these come out in Mario Kart 8. And until then, I've been TJ Henry Yoshi, signing off.